Hi everyone, Cordell here with Vengeant Apparatus from Vengeant Manufacturing. If you don't already, pause the video right now. You better come back to me, but pause the video, go to our Facebook, Vengeant Mfg, go to our Instagram, Vengeant Mfg, and go to our website, follow us, get tied into what we're doing. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff like this that you guys might wanna tune into and keep up with. So behind me right now, what I have is a Ford F550 Super Duty. It started out life as a chassis cab truck, and our team has taken it from a bare chassis and have upfitted it into the application of a brush truck slash a hybrid support vehicle. So this truck, depending how you slice it, it's got so many different capabilities it can provide to a department. We'll try to go over a few of those in this video now. So starting up front, what might be jumping out to you first is the large push bar that we have up front. This push bar is 1/4 inch plate. It is a very stout unit, so it is truly meant to protect this truck in a varying range of scenarios. For our lighting on the front of this push bar, we have a very, very nice package of Whelen lighting. So what we have here is a Whelen Ion Duo. This is a grommet mount in the side of the bumper. This truck is controlled by carbide, so that can do many different functions, almost limitless what you can program in. We have a set of Whelen auxiliary fogs, a true Whelen fog light here. The Whelen Summit series of warning slash scene illumination to the front of the truck. Nice little touch with these is with our carbide tied into our OBD2 port, we can actually integrate our clearance lights on the truck with the clearance lights on the Summit series. So it kind of gives it a little bit of that Ford Raptor look, if you're familiar with those vehicles. Down low here for warning, we have the Whelen 500 V series. Now what these lights are going to do is not only give you, of course, red and white warning, they also have the ability to do a steady white out the front as like a takedown, and then this puddle light is very nice for illuminating around the winch, which the winch, by the way, tucked inside here is a worn 16,500 pound winch, so more than capable to assist with getting others or this truck out of a certain situation. The light sticks as well, talking about their functionality, they can flash red and white, and they can also override to a white scene on the front of this vehicle. This is all a progressive system through our carbide, which will flood varying degrees of our front scene, and we'll show you that a little bit later in the video. Down low here, something to jump out at. Now you might not be used to seeing this kind of thing on our normal builds, but here at Vengeant Apparatus, we have ground sweeps in the front of this push bar. So we have one on the side and two in the front, so you get a nice fan pattern to the front of the truck. Looking down the side of the vehicle here, another thing that's going to jump out is kind of a packaged installation here with our front push bar, wheel and tire combination, and these fender flares. This is actually a kit that we've installed. The kit is from Buckstop, and what this kit will do is change a Ford F550 from a dually configuration to a single rear wheel configuration, allowing you to also put on the much larger off-road oriented tires. To accomplish this, we've done suspension changes to the truck, part of this kit as well. The truck has extremely beefy 1/2 inch thick skid plates underneath it, so it's very well protected. What this bumper actually does is it replaces your factory bumper and comes out about an additional 4 inches on the side to help tie into the flare and cover this new larger wide track front end a little bit better. When we look at this tire combination, one nice thing about this single wheel setup is these tires actually remain the ability to rotate them. So the wheels on the front are dished in such a way that you can remove them, dish them the opposite way, bring the front tires to the, and so on and so forth. You can pan down the side here. You might be able to get a shot of some of the new suspension work underneath the vehicle as well. Nice set of running boards that does maintain as much ground clearance as possible when the door is shut due to the retraction. Going down the side of the truck on the running board, we have the Whelen T-Ions as a nice tie-in to our front side Duo Ion. One nice thing, because we do have the carbide, when these lights are in the off configuration, you can see they do illuminate as a running light down the side of the truck. Now we have our warning activated again. Panning down the truck, we've got a nice comprehensive package again from Whelen on our scene lighting. So here we have telescoping LED scene lights in the front of the body, one on either side. You can position these up and maneuver them left to right to cast lighting wherever it may be needed. Mounted to the side of the body, we have some nice Whelen M9 warning lights, as well as Whelen Pioneer Plus side lights here. These are a spot flood combination light, so they're going to not only provide lighting to a bit of a distance, but also a nice fan angle throughout the side of the truck here. Going down the side of this body, built by Vengeant Manufacturing in our fabrication shop directly behind you. We specialize in full aluminum construction. We build all of our bodies out of a cage construction. So with that cage construction, what we do is we take a 2x3 aluminum structure behind the sheathing, and then we have a custom extrusion here on the front. So we're not a formed body, we're not welded corners, anything like that. The way we're fabricating these bodies is extremely strong. They can stand alone. The compartments are not structural at all. They are simply a sheathing over top of this cage structure. Going down the side of the body here, it's a 12-foot body. We have ROM roll-up compartments. This compartment here has actually our water tank behind it. So if you're familiar with our Surge build, our Surge had a large transverse compartment, meaning it went completely through the truck. This build here actually has a water tank here, so of course we can't go directly through. That tank is about 350 gallons, a little bit more. This truck offers you a large amount of storage. There's the accessories to our warn kit. Have our fuel fill on the side. All right guys, here we are at the rear of the truck. There's a lot to cover back here. So panning up at the truck here, we have our Whelen warning package and scene lighting package to the rear of the truck. Pioneer Pluses coupled with M9s, and here we've got some M6s down through for our brake, turn signal, reverse, warning, complete package. Here on the truck, you might wonder why there's 4 holes here. Don't worry guys, that's not for weight reduction, that is for the license plate. As we pan up the truck, you can see we have Whelen T-ions mounted directly below the hose bed. That's right, this truck has a hose bed. You've never seen that on our videos before. What you have here is 2 pre-connected lines, or the ability to have 2 pre-connects in your hose bed, off to the left and off to the right. Can show you that here. Flip open our hose bed cover. Again, so like I said, pre-connect number 2 and pre-connect number 1 here, and then you have the ability to store some large diameter hose to the left of that to whatever may complement your department's needs. In this truck, we have a hail pump unit. For the needs and the services that this truck needed to perform for the department, it was suited best for the application of a motor-driven pump instead of a standard PTO-driven pump like you would have in a mini pumper or something like that. So with this truck, one very important feature we needed to be able to do was quickly enact pump and roll capability for those front ground sweeps. So full control of our pump. There's a duplicate pump panel we will get to in the cab, so you never have to get out of the vehicle in order to perform that pump and roll capability. And then in order to turn on your pump from the front or the back, like I said, identical controls. You can see we're going to start up our pump now. We can electronically open our tank to pump valve, which is again also in the cab for complete duplication of controls. Tank to pump's open. We'll just recirculate some water here, so we're not going to make anything wet. You can hear the pump idle up. we have our 2.5-inch pre-connects up on the hose bed, and you can see what we've done here is one of our pre-connects is controlled by an electronic valve, and the other pre-connect is controlled via a manual push-pull, just for the sake of redundancy. Now, we can't get away from our tank to pump being an electronic valve due to having that dual role functionality from the cab. Further on from that, we have an 1.5-inch discharge, which is located right here on the rear of the truck, and we have a 2.5-inch discharge, which is located right here on the rear of the truck. Here's our intake for our pump, primer system, and of course, the booster reel here. It does not have a nozzle on it yet, of course. This booster reel does have the ability to electronically rewind. So we can discharge this from the truck, and then you're able to electronically rewind it. That's nothing earth-shattering in the apparatus world. It's just a lot handier when your booster reel does electronically rewind instead of cranking or messing with a reel mechanism. As we continue up the back here, we do have storage for hard sleeve right up top here. And or if you'd like to store long tools in there as well, one section of hard sleeve, long tools, whatever your needs are. On the rear of the truck here, what we have here is a protection for our wheel and T-ions. So our couplings, as they would leave the hose bed, are not going to contact the lighting. And we have a running style light here in the middle. These are a dual purpose light, so through our carbide system, this will actually override to an amber arrow stick. In this compartment here, the department had a need to be able to have their pump operator communicate through the radio. So we have that in a nice weatherproof compartment back here, powder coated to match the theme of the truck. And then of course we have our FRC tank level system here. It's our Tank Vision Pro system implemented into this build. Down here we have a nice little compartment to the rear of the truck, which what this allows for is just the storage of small items. Maybe you could keep the accessories to the winch there, but largely it's used to keep accessories for towing different things behind the vehicle. So you can keep your hitch in there, you can keep some chains in there, or whatever may be handy, because this truck does retain a hitch you are able to actually tow with. Here on the rear of the truck, our bumper does include some nice grip strut. It has been lined with bed liner to match the color scheme of the truck, and below it we have these Zyco steps that can be pulled out and then retracted. One big theme with this truck was doing nothing that would reduce the amount of ground clearance that is available through the other modifications. So as you can see, those steps tuck up nicely out of the way, so you keep that nice approach and departure angle with this vehicle. All right guys, here we are on the interior of the Ford F550. So starting out here front and center, we have a custom console that the Vengeant team designed for this build. It's just going to take advantage of the full width that's now available between the seats, especially the other big ticket things to talk about on the interior, or the secure all air pack seats we've installed as well. So going down our console, we've done some nice subtle things with the console. This USB port here actually is a pass-through port to the Ford Sync system, so the department is still able to interact with the Sync system very readily through phone communications. We have two USB charging points there. This would be for if the department would utilize a tablet or something like that, they're able to simply plug it in there to keep it charged up, ready for response. Here we have the control panel for our inverter. So on the side of the truck, you may have noticed when we pan down the side, we have the white receptacle there. Like you see on many of our builds, that would be the auto charger. This truck actually has an auto charger / inverter unit that handles not only charging the battery, keeping that topped off, but it will also then anything on that circuit, because it is a DC charger and it will output AC power as well, being an inverter. It will then, anything on that AC circuit, when you unplug that shoreline or when it's ejected when the vehicle were to start, will then automatically switch over and transfer through a built-in transfer switch to the inverter. So if you do use your 110 to charge different things, some departments may have radios, or they may have a TIC or other equipment that for whatever reason works better for them to charge off AC instead of going with the DC charger. You have the capability to keep those items topped off when you are out on the street. Coming down the console here, we have the department's radio installed in the vehicle for them. We've hooked this up with a nice magnetic mic clip, pretty much a staple of a lot of our builds. Then we get down to our lighting controls. This light here will illuminate if one of our ROM compartment doors is ajar. And we have our Whelen Sencom Carbide control panel. Now with Carbide, it's a little bit difficult to tell you about all of the functions that we can incorporate or have incorporated into the build because this system does communicate with the OBD2 port in the vehicle and will act as a pass-through for that communication. So when the doors open, when certain speeds are reached, when you go into reverse, when you unlock the doors, fuel level reaches a certain percentage, it's almost limitless what you're able to do through the ability as well to do multi-press buttons. So on the front of the truck there, you may have heard us talking about the scene lighting and how we can do a multi-press button to the front of that. So the department has their left, front, right, and rear scene controls, with their front having 5 different levels to it. So one press will do a function, another press will perform more. It's a progressive system, so on and so forth. Coming back on the console here, we have the pump panel. And guys, in this video, the truck has not been delivery prepped yet, so we've got a few washers sitting here from something else they were doing. But here we have our pump panel. Duplication, like I said, of the rear panel. So you have the ability to start the pump from the front, which we just did. You can see our RPMs here. And our tank to pump is open. And then we've actually enabled our ground sweeps onto the auxiliary switches on the chassis. Let's go ahead and turn off our motor to our pump here. And as well as you can see the level of your water tank from in the cab as well. No guessing, of course. All right, guys, here we are in the rear crew compartment of the Ford F550. So the subtle touches we've done here is the chassis does have the Ford factory rubber floor in it, as you see. And then additionally, we have the WeatherTech floor mats here in the rear, just to help keep the truck stay that much nicer, that much longer. Here we have the Bostrom Secure All SCBA seats. In the F550, one nice thing these seats do have the ability to do is actually fold up to a vertical position. So if you are this center person and the crew member to the left or right of you does exit before you, you are then able to flip this seat up to make your entry and exit of the vehicle that much easier. So we'll put those down. The rear seats here, that is the extent of their adjustability. The front passenger seat replacement actually does retain the ability to slide forward and backward like a factory seat would. However, it does eliminate the ability to tilt. But what it does give you is 4 crew members with SCBAs and the ability to don them in the seat. All right, guys, now we're going to go down the side of this 12-foot long module. We're taking it on the driver's side, we're going to go down the passenger side. It's going to basically essentially complement the other side we had seen. But here we have mounted the client's rescue tool for them, so they use the hydraulic system. We have the mount set up for the actual tool itself, and then their charger as well. What we had not touched on in the other compartments, which do duplicate these, we have adjustable shelves, 2 shelves in the large compartments, and 1 shelf in this center wheel well compartment. This would be curbside 1, curbside 2. So 2 adjustable shelves that are user adjustable. We have some nice tracking in here with spring-loaded nutserts. You're able to maneuver those as your needs may change over the years of owning this, and equipment loadouts may change. Our ROM roll-up doors, like we had said before, do have the integrated compartment lighting in the tracks here as well, so all of your equipment will be nicely illuminated for nighttime operations in the compartment, as well as your work area and walkway around the truck. Up top here, we have some stuff sitting here. Like I said, this has not been prepped for final delivery or anything like that. We wanted to get and do our marketing content on it before we did our final customer preparations, as that takes some time for our team to go through. But as you pan up here, you're going to see we do have a 110 solution for the client where they are able to plug in their own equipment as their needs may change. Not everything is hardwired into the truck. I'm sorry, that is hardwired, but you don't have to physically hardwire every piece of equipment into the truck, as your needs may change. You're not going to be able to see it now during the daylight, but the truck does have 10 different ground lights all around it. So when you do get that nice, when you are operating at night, you're going to have a nice glow underneath the truck, and then these lights here will project a nice safe work area and a nice circumference around the truck. Here we have added SCBA bottle holders. This is also complemented on the opposite side of the truck as well. That's going to be on either side of our wheel well. Street side compartment 2. Curbside compartment 2. We have our one adjustable shelf, and then our nice turtle towel matting here as well for the client. All of our compartments are a sweep out design. So as you can see, you could very easily remove this turtle tile, and if you were to broom anything out of this compartment, there's no lip here for it to catch on. However, as your door sits in this track, it actually has a lip here on the back side of it, so water or dirt do not make their way into the compartment. And then here we are on curbside 3. Like I said, we have 2 shelves back here for the client as well. What we're showing off now, guys, is we're showing off the decal package that our team Market Graphics has done on this truck. So what this features is a mix of reflective 3M vinyl with a gold leaf accent to it. So this accent is going to run all throughout the truck, as well as the reflective stripe and that nice door patch there. As always with Market Graphics, everything is as much as possible a one layer application. Now, this gold leaf actually has texture in it, so it's unable to be printed. So the gold leaf is a separate strip, but of course our door patch and everything like that are nice one layer applications. Other nice touches Market Graphics has done for us on this truck is our Super Duty emblem has been inlaid with white vinyl, as well as our hood has been inlaid with white vinyl. Vinyl can oftentimes be a more economic way to accent your vehicle over paint, as well as giving you the ability to simply replace that vinyl shall anything ever happen to it very easily. On the rear of the vehicle, what the Market Graphics team has done is actually laid down a matte black vinyl first, and then a separate white chevron pattern on top of that. So our team does have the ability to fully print a black and white chevron design on 3M reflective vinyl. However, when you print on top of reflective vinyl, you no longer get that clear difference. You only get a full reflective surface. So with doing the matte black and reflective white, you will see a true chevron pattern when this does reflect at you during nighttime operations. All right, everyone, thanks for coming by our channel to check out the video on the Ford F550. This module, built by Vengeant Apparatus right here in Annville. We're located on the 911 Rapid Response campus directly behind 911 Rapid Response. It's going to feature, once again, 12-foot module with 350 gallons of water on board, as well as a Hale motor-driven pump. If you like what you see here, check us out at vengeantapparatus.com. There you'll see our full offering lineup. We have variations of light rescues. We can do a PTO-driven pump with CAF's incorporation if you're looking for more of a mini pumper style instead of a brush truck. And we also have brush trucks on a smaller scale as well. If you're more so looking for maybe a flatbed with a skid tank, check out those options as well. Thanks for following along. Follow us on Instagram, Vengeant Mfg, and like us on Facebook at Vengeant Mfg. We appreciate your support and following, and I hope we keep growing the channel as well as our business. And we appreciate all your support. Thank you, everyone.